They're two of the most popular books in the world, and now fans of the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and The Alchemist can listen to their favourite books on audiobook in Te Reo Māori. The audiobooks were launched as part of the Kotahi Rau Pukapuka Trust, which began in 2019 with the goal of producing 100 great books in Te Reo Māori. Pania Papa is the Chief Executive of Kotahi Rau Pukapuka, and she joins us now. Pania, ngā mihi nui kia koe. Tēnā whakamaramahia mai, why is releasing these stories in Te Reo Māori in an audiobook format particularly important for learners of Te Reo Māori?
Tēnā koe te tungane. I think audiobooks in Te Reo Māori, specifically these two novels, blockbuster global novels, is a game changer for Te Reo. It's been something that ever since the inception of Kotahi Rau Pukapuka and the kaupapa of producing 100 books in Te Reo, the idea around having them as audiobooks was particularly inspiring for me, because I think the wairua o Te Reo, te mauri o Te Reo, the rhythm and the nuance in the language is best conveyed by the spoken word, and that's what we're going to get in this audiobook format.
Awesome. Can you tell us about the translations and narrations of the books? Who else is involved?
Yeah, Harry Potter me te whatu manapou is read by myself as narrator and Tiare Tāwera. Tiare is a long-standing voice artist in his own right, and he worked a lot on the cartoons that we produced in Te Reo Māori some years ago. Tiare does the voices for all of the characters in the book, and we interchange between the narration and then the characters' pieces, which is something different for audiobooks. Normally audiobooks are read by one particular narrator, and we're lucky that Pottermore agreed that we were able to do it this way to give it a little bit more pizzazz.
And he's super talented, isn't he? Paulo Coelho's inspirational bestseller, The Alchemist, has been translated into more languages than any other book by a living author. Mm-hmm. Why was this book chosen to be translated and turned into an audiobook?
Yeah, I think The Alchemist is a novel by Paulo Coelho. If I recall one of our trustee meetings in Kotahi Rau Pukapuka, it was Witi Ihimaira who said, wouldn't it be great to actually translate from the foundation language from Portuguese into Te Reo Māori and kind of bypass the English translation. And so Hemi Kelly was our translator for that particular title, and he has some connections in South America, particularly with Portuguese language. And so he was able to work with those people and refine his translation of The Alchemist, and we have Te Reo Ānuku. It's an easy read. A lot of our young people are reading it as part of their school curricula English programs, and so for us it was a no-brainer. It's already been translated in a number of global languages, so Te Reo Māori gets added to that list.
Well, I can't wait to check it out. As you've mentioned, you partly narrated J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, one of the greatest children's stories of all time. What was the experience like for you?
It's a difficult task reading Te Reo Māori. Those who have done any kind of reading out loud in any kind of lesson or program of learning will know that it's a tricky skill to master. And so with Rowling's style of narration, her writing, which was then translated by Leon Blake, a master translator in this field, the way that J.K. Rowling spins her words into sentences is actually quite difficult when you're reading in Te Reo Māori. It's a little bit back to front, and so it was quite a challenge, quite a difficult task, but in the back of my mind, I think knowing that there would be much more benefit for our next generation in hearing Te Reo Māori and being able to follow the storyline in terms of listening, I think that's going to be where the most benefit's going to be had.
Sure. The first 4 titles in the Kotahi Rau Pukapuka stable were released in November 2020. Can you give us an update on the plans for the next titles?
Yeah, so we're at number 7 now. We released Avengers versus X-Men. That was during the COVID time. And then we released Bully Basha, Puripāha, by Witi Ihimaera, and Te Korau me te Moana, another globally well-known book. So we've got about 10 in the production line at the moment at various stages, and they're going to be released throughout 2023. And some of those titles includes a new book by Supau Temara about Tūhoe's contribution and participation in Orako. Te Haumihi at the Masons, translation of Romeo Hurieta is going to be an awesome one. Edmund's cookbook for Tamariki, Tai Tamariki is on that list, as well as Te Puea by Michael King, Rangatira by Paula Morris, a collection of Maya Angelou poems, and a tribal collection of writings by Kaitahu called Te Rehuiringa. And that's going to start off our tribal series that we're also looking to produce over the next several years. Big mahi, but it's important mahi.
Absolutely. Ka rawe, te rongo atu I nā kōrero, and very excited as well. Look, and feel free to reach out if you need a narrator for any of those titles. Ngā mihi nui kia koe Pānia Papa from Kotahi Rau Pukapuka. Thank you very much for your time today. Ngā mihi matakui kia koe, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koutou.